Hey, gang! All right, we are live. Here we are. We're live. Joypreneur Summit, day 4, interview. Are we on 4 already? Oh my gosh, the day is flying by, isn't it? I am so happy that you're here. As you come in, remember when you come in, let me know where you're listening in from. Tell us about your business. Hey, it's free advertisement in the comments when you do that. We are going to be speaking to JoAnna in just 1 second here. Hold on, because I've got a few things that I want to chat about. We had a little bit of technical difficulty and I lost JoAnna, but she's back now. Mercury went into retrograde today, so I feel pretty happy that things are going as well as they are. I'm just saying it takes a brave person to do a summit in the middle of Mercury retrograde. Okay, I'm just going to pat myself on the back for just a minute. I know people are coming in, and I want you just to say hi. We've got a really good interview for you today. You're going to get so many good nuggets out of JoAnna's interview. I think you need to know just a couple of things to get the full benefit of this interview, though. The first thing is, if you look at the link in the descriptions, you're going to find a couple of links. And the first link is an agenda for the day. We've still got 3 more interviews. Definitely check it out, because guess what? When you get that agenda, you also get all the freebies. You get JoAnna's freebie. You get the freebies from everybody who's on today. You get the freebies from everybody who's on the whole summit, plus all of our sponsors. I mean, we're talking like 40 free things that you can access. Pick and choose. Look at the ones you want. How do you get it? You go to that link in the description, opt in, and you will get all the details about how to access those freebies. The other link you're going to see is the link to the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. What do all these people have in common? Well, they all have in common that they are members of the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. You know what? Wouldn't it be nice to hang out somewhere where people get it? That mindset is the single most important thing when it comes to building your business. It's not grinding. It's not hustling. It's not working harder. It's feeling good. Leverage the power of mindset, build your business the fun, light, and easy way. And right now, last day of the summit, limited time offer, I will send you the pen of expectation in the mail when you sign up. The pen of expectation, everything you write with it will come true. And I do ship it worldwide. If you're already in the club and going, hey, I want that pen, well, look at the post I made yesterday, and there's a way for you to get it too. Look at those links in the description. Hey, welcome. I see you coming in. Oh, good. Have you been doing? Yeah, tell me, everybody who's coming in now, whether you're coming in on replay too, you could do this. What have you heard today that you love so much? I love that you've been taking the quizzes that have been offered today. That's great. Got Canada in the house. Hi, Regina. Pennsylvania. Good. Do tell me any ahas you've been getting today, because this is going to be fun. We're going to have a great time coming up. Without further ado, let's get to it. JoAnna Brandi is the author of 54 Ways to Stay Positive in a Changing, Challenging, and Sometimes Negative World. She is the chief happiness author who brings the science of happiness to the workplace. With over 30 years experience, she's building positive cultures, and she's helping you thrive on a day-to-day basis. And today we're going to talk about some things like your happiness set point and the positive spillover effect and what that is and how it can affect worldwide, and tips and hints for staying positive even if you were a born pessimist. You're going to really like this one. You wait. Without further ado, here is JoAnna Brandi. Yay!
Yay!
I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the
Me
show.
too. I almost lost you. Actually, I did lose you there for
I
a
know.
moment.
I know. I was like, well, I
Ooh.
can always dance. If she doesn't come back, I can always do that little dance for you. So that worked out great.
Yeah.
JoAnna, the first thing I want to do, because I think it's going to set the stage for everything else we do today, I want you to talk about the, is it called the happiness set point or positivity set point?
No, we have a happiness set point. We have a happiness
Yeah.
set point.
Yeah. What's the
I
story there?
well, I studied happiness with Dr. Martin Seligman over 20 years ago. I became an authentic
Wow.
happiness coach. It was such an honor, and that was the thing. That was the thing that hit me upside the head. Everybody has a happiness set point. So no, if we're looking for happiness out there, I'll be happy when I get the new car. I'll be happy when I get the new apartment. Blah blah blah. I'll be happy when I get the raise. What will happen is you will be happy for maybe 90 days. if that.
For maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe, but for a
Yeah.
short period of time, it's a set point. Your body's always gonna go back to that because that's genetically determined.
I
So,
get it.
you'll get a boost for getting to raise the car, the boyfriend, whatever, but then you're gonna go back to your set point, and there's a ton of study that's been done on this. About 50% of our happiness is genetic.
Right, I've heard
So,
that too. Yeah.
yeah, so and the
But
most
the
fun
other
but
50%,
the other 50% comes from the decisions we make in life about our where we're gonna work, where we're gonna live, that kind of stuff, and 40% is coming from things we have a lot of voluntary control over. Because
nice. I
remember
love it.
in that 10% slice, you could be maybe you have an illness or something like that you don't have control over, but in that 40% slice there, these are the things that you can do to make yourself happier. When you become happier that way, it actually fixes that set point for you.
Yeah, raises your set point. So
Yeah.
talk about some of those things that are in our control that we can do.
Well, for mindset, right there at the top of the list, how
Yeah,
we think, who we
yeah.
choose to hang around with, whether or not we exercise, whether or not we eat healthy. That doesn't always show up on the list, but it's very true because there's a lot to do with food and how our body processes food, and especially sugar. That sugar gives us a boost, but then it sends us diving. Um, whether or not we meditate.
Nice.
Now,
All
we
these
do
are
know
good.
that the two things that are time tested true by science is exercise and meditation. You
I can
will
believe that.
get happier if you do those things on a regular basis. But
Love it.
there are tons more.
With
Having
social
coffee,
connections, right? Social
absolutely, that's
connections are
right
another
up
one.
there. Absolutely
Yeah,
right up there.
yeah.
Social connections, having someone you can go to, whether you're happy or sad, uh,
Nice.
being involved with other people, helping other people. Huge, huge, huge.
Aren't these
Volunteering.
so feel good too? Like everyone you say, my heart
They
goes,
all feel
"Oh,
good.
that feels good. Oh, that feels good."
Yeah, yeah, they're all
Yeah,
feel good. Hobbies. Having a hobby
yeah.
you love to do, loving to cook, loving to have friends over. I love to walk at the beach. That's my big thing is I get
The
my
the
feet in the sand almost every night.
the crowd's jumping in too, going, "Nature, sunlight," right?
Nature,
All that's in.
absolutely, absolutely. Forest bathing. It's now called forest bathing
Oh,
when
I
you go out.
love forest
Getting
bathing, yeah.
all of that is really one. What else do the people say? I can't see the chat.
Yeah,
So,
I love it. Well, so let me ask you something then. Is this what you mean when you say this is how you outsmart your happiness set point?
yeah, you keep dosing yourself with that good stuff, which is going to change the chemistry of your body, which is going to give you more dopamine, more oxytocin, more serotonin, and more endorphins. And
Oh,
when
wow, I
and
love
when
it.
the ch-
Mhm.
I honestly thought positive thinking was just for not serious people. I was a serious writer. I was a serious this. I was serious. My parents were both lawyers. Now, what do lawyers learn? They learn to look for what's wrong. When you grow up with lawyers, they're really good at picking out what's wrong. So, and then they sent me to Catholic school. So for most of my life, I got told what was wrong with me.
I'm a recovering Catholic too, so I
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
okay, okay.
I
All
know you're recovering pessimists, so we're all I'm totally joking,
we're
by
all
the
in
way, all the
recovery here.
Catholics out there.
But I
Oh,
mean, at one point, and I'm a public speaker, and at one point, I'm standing on stage and I'm banging on my chest, going, "I am." Well, I forget what the words were we used to have to say when you're banged on your chest. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm sorry. Or whatever it is. It's like imagine doing that most of your young life. You're
wow.
when you really think about the fact that it's the first 7 years that matter. It's
Yeah,
the first
right.
7 years that matter, and then you go back and you go, "Holy shit."
Yeah, all
What
those things, I
happened in
know.
those yeah, and so that's where the mindset comes from. So mindset it's tricky to change because it's, like,
Now
baked
you
in.
No, you call yourself a recovering pessimist,
Yeah.
recovering pessimist because, you your whole life, I mean, you've just given us a good explanation.
Yeah,
You've been raised in a pessimistic, you kind of that was your set point, was to
yeah,
be a pessimist.
yeah,
And
what's
so
wrong?
yeah, exactly. And so, but obviously you're recovering. you're recovering pessimist. So what turned it for you? Like what made you, most people who are
Studying.
pessimistic, first of all, they usually think they're realistic. And
Oh,
then
they
and
do.
then
They
they
do.
don't go like, "Oh, I need to fix this." Like what changed it for you?
Studying, because when I understood that both pessimism and optimism are an explanatory style. So a pessimist sees the world in a certain way. Things are permanent, things are pervasive, things are, so if you look at, I like to talk about it this way. I live in South Florida. During season, a lot of people come here, disturb this lovely little paradise we have. Lots of traffic, lots of aggression. They're coming from the north. But somebody who's a pessimist, if it rains, they're going to go, "Oh my God, it always rains on my vacation. Every time we come here, it rains on my vacation." So they're going to focus on those things. They're going to focus on the negative. So the explanatory style is permanent and pervasive. And I forget what the other P is. And then the other side is that when you are an optimist, your explanatory style is different. So it's temporary and not critical. So we, oh yeah, well I heard they just opened a new museum down the block. Let's go check it out. So it's explaining a negative situation in a certain way. That's why you can learn optimism.
That's so interesting. That I love this idea of it's just a way you explain things. And this is so clear and so obvious, permanent versus temporary.
Right.
Like that's so easy to understand.
Yeah.
And so I can see, and I love that you studied and you figured it out and you went, hey, this is something I can learn.
Hmm.
Optimism can
Hmm.
be learned, and I couldn't agree more. It can be. So you have this thing you call like the 5 pillars of flourishing. Do you want to go into that or explain that a little bit
Well,
more
it's
about
not
what
my
those pillars
not
are?
my thing. Well, it's not my thing. It's my teacher's thing. It's my teacher's thing.
Okay.
With all this study, happiness is now a full-fledged study everywhere. They're teaching it at
Truth.
Harvard. They're teaching it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So the 5 pillars of flourishing comes out to an acronym called PERMA. So the first thing we need is pleasure. Thank you. I'm glad it's at the beginning of the list. We do need pleasure. The second one we need is engagement. So if you want to be happy, you want some pleasure, you want something you're engaged in, you want a hobby, you want a job, you want something you love doing, you want a business, you want something that just makes you feel good. And when you go into it, you lose track of time. You go into flow. You just lose it. When you write, I know you do. Like I do. You go in, you don't know what time it is, you don't know if he ate lunch. You're just in it, right? That's
Yeah.
engagement, and that is such a healthy state for the body to be in. The third one is relationships. We all need flourishing relationships. So that's why right now they say there's a loneliness epidemic, because these little phones and things like that are really disconnecting us from other people. Oh, although we have this fake connection.
Mm.
We have this fake connection. So then, where was I? That's relationships. Meaning.
Random
We all
M.
need meaning.
Yeah.
M is
Right.
meaning. Meaning. We need meaning in our lives. Connected, just connected to something larger. And I have always believed that my meaning is my work, because I teach happiness in business. I teach happiness in lots of places, but primarily I want to change the way the workplace works. But
Yeah.
one day I was sitting at the kitchen table doing some writing, and all of a sudden I said, you've got a different meaning, and it's not larger; it's actually smaller. It's a message that I haven't spread yet, but I'll be happy to spread it here.
Yeah.
And
Let's start.
yeah, it's that it's never too late to have a happy childhood.
Oh, I think that's juicy. I really like that, especially coming from your childhood where you felt like you kind of were set for pessimism. And
Yeah,
so your meaning in life is to tell people and share with
yeah,
people,
yeah.
hey,
If
guess
you
what?
can
It's
change
never
that,
too late. You can start
right?
now. I love that. And so I want to hear A2. I want to ask everybody, really think about that for a second. What is meaning for you? What does it mean to you? What gives your life meaning? Give that some thought. If you want to share it in the chat, that'd be great. And the A,
Is achievement, accomplishment.
but that doesn't have to be like, oh, I got an award. That can be little wins, right? Little happies that you
Oh,
have. It can be achievements.
that can be that the dish you made for dinner came out well. It doesn't mean, I like to. I've had to learn to shrink these things down to,
Mhm.
well, again, having to do with the world I grew up in, and the accomplishment that was expected and all of that kind of stuff. I've learned, I've just learned to shrink things down. Like I can get a great deal of pleasure from smaller things. And when I went to happiness school, this is the part I loved. When we were together as a group for 8 or 9 or 10, whatever, how many weeks, 12 weeks, and we were in a pod with people, and we all had to take these achieve. They're not called tests. They're called whatever assessments. They're called assessments, and they found out in my assessment that I score really high on meaning and I score really high on engagement, but I scored really low on pleasure. So what
Oh,
I had to do was
interesting.
learn to create more pleasure in my life, and I did that through something called savoring.
Love savoring. It's like my favorite word, and it's my
Oh,
favorite
me
thing to
too.
do. I
Yeah,
love it. I know. Tell
because
everybody how you can savor more.
start with chocolate. One one piece of dark chocolate. One. I have a piece of dark chocolate every day after lunch. I eat it
Mm,
very, very slowly. I turn it into a sensuous experience. If I
it's
eat a
so
second one, I gobble it. But if I the first one, it's really interesting because I have trained myself to savor. And I will tell you that the best place to train yourself to savor is with food, because when you savor your food, you eat less food.
That's a really good idea. I'll tell you something else about savoring that I've noticed for my own life is, first of all, just like you're saying, you did it actually to increase your pleasure, to increase the P. And certainly
Mhm.
you do. Like and savoring like this moment, isn't
Yeah,
it neat how the light is coming in and look at the clouds in the sky and oh my gosh, did you see that color of the sun? And you can really milk it, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
the other thing I found that I'm really getting a big benefit out from savoring is it feels like my life is slowing down. And so I'm not rushing through every little thing. So
Mm.
suddenly it's almost like, you hear about like when people are pitching in the big leagues and the person is at bat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's almost like the ball is moving in slow motion when it's coming
Right,
before they
right.
hit it. And life just starts to feel like that when you savor. Like you feel
Yeah.
like you get such a more life and a longer life. So I love this advice of savoring. Do you have anything else you want to say about savoring?
No, except that I'd love to write a book about it. I really love to write a book about savoring. I actually have, I don't know where I got these little yellow pieces of paper from. They're just blank yellow pieces of paper. And I started writing one savoring tip at a time. I have 3 books, and all of my books are one idea on a page. That idea not referring to the idea before, the idea after. Because
That's great.
I had a book contract, a big book contract, which is what brought me to Florida. And I was in the middle of writing it, and I thought my life would end. Way back then, I didn't know I was ADHD, so I didn't know what I couldn't do. So I kept trying these things. And one day, after months and months of absolute frustration, I used to say the nuns from my childhood came to dance around the dining room table and torment me because I couldn't get the work done. So I made one phone call. I called a client of mine who was still back up in New York, and I said to her, Dominique, if I write a book, will you read it? And she said, how many pages is it? I said, well, they want 375 pages. She said, you don't have a prayer. So then I asked the best question of my life. I said, what would you read? And she said, you write me a book that has one idea on a page, that idea, not to refer to the idea before or the idea after, and I will read that book. And I was shocked. She was a big time publisher. And I said, you want toilet reading? She goes, that's about all I have time for. So I wrote a
It's a
book.
great idea, though.
I
It's
know.
a
Yeah.
genre. What do they have a genre called that? Like you
Well,
should
they did.
invent that
She
genre.
she actually did. She ended up publishing the book because she had a genre of 101 ways books. So mine was called Winning at Customer Retention: 101 Ways to Keep Them Happy, Keep Them Loyal, and Keep Them Coming Back.
Wow, I love that because it's like that what a nice way to consume information too.
Yes,
Like just to be
yes,
able to consume an idea and then sit with it,
yeah,
consume the next idea, sit with
yeah.
it is so good. Now, getting back to positivity, I want you to talk about this positivity spillover effect
Ooh,
because
yes.
I think this is a really hot concept. So please share about what you mean when you are talking about this concept.
It's a very, very hot concept. When we have I have a little scale that I use. I'm not going to jump up and grab it though. Imagine that there's a circle in the middle of a page. So, and imagine that I'm with a group of executives, which is where I usually hang out. And in the middle of the circle, we put positive workplace culture. But then spreading out from the circle, there are 6 lines with another few circles. So when you make a positive workplace culture, what happens? Well, my customers get happy. Okay. And then there's 3 more lines coming from there. Well, what happens when your customers get happy? Well, they buy more stuff, they tell their friends, and they give us great advice on how to improve our products. And then you
Nice.
go around the whole page, and you do that with employee happiness, you do that with supplier happiness, you do that with everything because when you as a group, when there's that much positivity going on internally, it spreads. Science tells us that it will go 2 to 3 people beyond you. So when that customer service rep answers that phone and you have a great experience with that person, you're likely to go out and spread that to 2 to 3 more people. That
Truth.
feeling. Yeah, yeah.
Truth. Yeah.
And,
Yeah, for sure.
my big bugaboo, especially with customer service, is the term "no problem." That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard, because there is it is a problem because the unconscious mind can't understand the reverse of an idea.
Yeah, they
So the
can't,
last
just for those of you that don't know, your brain doesn't hear the word no. It only
no,
focuses on the subject of the
yeah,
sentence, right?
yeah. So the
Yeah.
last word you're leaving me with is the word problem. So I kind of talk back most of the time. The last service person, I didn't even bother because he had apparently had such a thick head that there was no way that word was going to get in there. But don't leave me with no problem. No problem.
That It's
Really?
really, it's something about the power of language too, because we're not always thoughtful in our
No,
language,
no.
in the way we think. And we have this discussion in the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. I know recently one of our members posted something about the phrase we always say, like, I can't wait. I can't wait. And it's really like this idea of,
Ooh,
that your time is running out and you don't have time. And, so it's like just thoughtfulness, like saying no problem. What it really means is problem, right?
yes,
So, it's
exactly.
it's it's good to be thoughtful. So I want to get back to the positivity spillover effect because I
Spillover.
think
Sure.
this is brilliant. It's really like about creating a ripple effect. And it sounds to me like
Exactly
what you're
that.
saying is it starts with happiness. It starts with your own happiness, and it starts with the commitment to have happiness in every area of your company, whether it's customer service or your graphic
Hmm.
designer
Hmm.
or your tech team or whatever it is, and your customers, your clients, because when you do it, not only do you feel better and it's good to do and it's happy for you, but you get results from it.
Absolutely. You get results because when you are in the state of positivity, and I don't use the word happiness too much anymore because I get too much
Yeah.
pushback, but when you are in a state of positivity, the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain begin communicating better together. So you have more ideas. You come up with things you ordinarily wouldn't come up with because you're changing that structure of your brain and you're opening up. And when you're in the presence of other people when you do it, it is definitely contagious.
Yeah, without a doubt. It is so it's like people think, and I think we were talking about this either in this interview or earlier today, about people think like the I get happy when I get that thing. You just said it. I'll get
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
when I get that thing.
No,
And like you say, you're happy for a short time, but the reality is happiness is the path. When you get
that's right.
happy
That's right.
first,
That's right.
now you create that environment where
Yeah.
your brain is optimized, you're
Hmm.
using your best brain, you're creating the environment where you're showing up in a better way, you're creating the environment where it's spilling over to all of these other areas of your life, and you're getting those results. Because you're right, if I get on customer service and I'm talking to a happy customer service rep, and then I have a happy feeling, that's a business I'm telling other people about. That's a business I'm
Right.
purposely
Right.
going back to and buying from. Like everything you say is just spot on. This is like one of those things where, like, we started with this and now there's no war. Like it's just like it spreads
Yeah.
out to the world. Joy solves everything.
It actually does. We just don't
Mhm.
allow ourselves. We're just, especially now with what's going on in the world, we're very serious. We're very,
Yeah.
very serious. And I think the what you're doing is amazing because it helps us introduce a little bit more levity. It helps us do. When I look at the things that people are posting, some mornings I just laugh. Say, oh, that's so cute. Then there's a part of me, the sophisticated businesswoman part of me that goes, really? Are you laughing at that? You know, it's like, yeah, I'm laughing at that because we have to.
Joanna,
It's about lightening it up.
I'm telling you something, that was the biggest challenge for me to get over,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kind of like, like this idea of how does look at this cat video build my business? This is just, you know what I mean? Like really, it was so hard for me to really kind of, because like you, I mean, I was very like achievement
Serious,
serious,
achievement
you know.
oriented. Yeah,
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 yeah.
you're so right. And then you start realizing like, oh my gosh, joy is the path. Yeah. Oh, so good. So much good stuff. I could, next time we'll have a 24 episode summit and we'll just have you on all 24
Well, that
spots.
would be good because I have that
Yeah.
much material. What I'm doing now is I'm building my own AI so I can, because I'm getting a little older, and as you can hear, I'm missing words here and there. I'm going, oh boy, I got to catch all. I've got to build it all somewhere so that can think for me.
You
Claude,
can clone yourself now with that
I'm
AI. You
trying
can
to.
have
I'm
all
trying
your
to.
stuff.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great. I love it.
yeah.
So listen, if we're going to give some parting advice to people, like they're listening and they're going, okay, I love her because I'm a recovering pessimist too. I want to, have more happiness spill over. I want to improve my set point. I want to live a better life. Like which thing, like if you would give them one message or one habit or one thing, if you said, just do this thing or just think this way, what's the like parting
Wow.
shot you would leave everybody with?
Other than going to my YouTube channel, JoAnnaBrandi.tv, other than that, Uh, yes, other than that, I would say surround yourself with positivity. If you could see the wall I'm looking at, next book is going to be about my post-it notes. Keep yourself, keep yourself. I have one here. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire others around me to do the same. I am happily creating 5 figures a month, this month and every month. I have inspiration everywhere. When
Yeah,
my
you're just
daughter was in college, which was a really long time ago, she would come home and she'd look at the refrigerator and she'd shake her head. She'd, Mom, before my friends come over, could we clear the spiritual bulletin board, please? Because they all think I'm a
we're we're
wackadoodle.
we're closet wackadoodles. That's right. That's so good. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you so much for being here. That is
Oh,
really
this
just
is such a
awesome.
joy. I could do this for the next hour and a half.
I
It's been
know
fun.
it's so
Really
fun.
fun.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome.
Everybody, are you catching that? Like really take that tidbit to heart and really think about what JoAnna said. Like she gave us so much, so many good things to think about. Our happiness set point, how we can overcome it and change it, the importance of knowing it and doing all those things that are good for us, whether it be exercise and not good for us like, oh, this is good for you, but like really feeding your brain, doing the right things that are right by your brain. And the final part, especially, like what happens when you surround yourself with positivity? When you surround yourself with positivity, then you spill over into the world and you are not only contagious to everybody else, but it makes you money because you are out there and you are not only showing up as your best self, but you're affecting your customers with your positivity. They're having a good experience and they're coming back for more and they're referring you. Like it's so obvious when you hear it the way she said it. It's just so clear, isn't it? Positivity is the path. Now, I want to make sure that you can connect with JoAnna. And the best way to do that is to go get her freebie. And you're going to love this title: From Positive Thinking to Positive Doing. 21 positivity practices to overcome negativity and create a happier, healthier life. Go get it. How do you get it? You look for the link in the description below, and you're going to be able to go in, get her freebie, go from positive thinking to positive doing, get her freebie, and you can get everybody else's freebie from today and from the whole summit. For example, if you didn't check it out, one of our sponsors today is Yvonne Nicholson, and she has the most darling weekly organizer in there. Like you will just look at it and it's instant happy with all the beautiful little butterflies and everything she's got on it. Go check that out. Go get JoAnna's free gift. I love this title. Like that is something you should almost trademark, JoAnna. Positive thinking to positive doing. Like, hello, who doesn't need that? Go grab it today. I know you're going to love it. Here's some favorite mantras that came in from JoAnna. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day and inspire others around me to do the same. Whoo, that feels good. Everything is always working out for me, and I'm ready to step fully into who I am and what I can be. Wow, those are good, right? Am I right? I know you love them. Say in the comments, like, oh, hell yeah, I love those. I am really happy that you are here and you are joining me for the rest of the interviews today. You're going to be happy to know that up next is Jane Tornator. Jane is a coach, author, speaker, brain geek, and self-compassionate expert. You know, if you have ever felt like you are not enough, then this is the interview for you. Come back and join me to see Jane. She's going to talk a lot about the words we use, the way our family sets us up, and how to change it, how to turn it around. It's going live in 30 minutes, right at the top of the hour. I'm going to be right back here, same bat channel. Come on back. I can't wait to have you meet with Jane, spend the rest of the day with me. Keep hanging out. We've got so much more ahead. This is the last day, folks. You really getting your fill on this? Then you definitely want to get in the club, because this can go on forever. Let's have a little love affair in the club with everybody who's hanging out here. And I will send you the pen of expectation in the mail. Last day of the summit. Oh, I'm just enjoying this. I'm savoring this moment right now. We learned how to savor, didn't we? Let's savor it. I adore you. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Bye, everybody.